fun lesson for you to do with your kindergartners.
Teach them how to count.
So to start off, we will have you, the pre-professionals, sitting in groups of 4.
Then we will go through a PowerPoint on different methods and ways to start teaching counting to your students.
After we go through that PowerPoint, we will have you think and brainstorm in your groups of 4 their own activities to do based on the methods taught and learned in the PowerPoint.
Then we will pass out the materials. You will need Play-Doh, which the students will press down on their desk. Then they will need manipulatives. You can press into the Play-Doh. Then they will have a number stamp that we will give them, and they'll press the number based on how many manipulatives they put into the Play-Doh.
The steps with you to show how to use them with your own students. We will provide tips on how to ensure your students won't use the manipulatives as toys.
You will check to see if your students know visual representations by looking at their models and checking to see if their manipulatives match up with the number that they stamped onto the Play-Doh. And if they do not know it, what can you do to help?
That activity, and while it is still fresh in our brains, we are going to have you go back to your groups of 4 and think of your own activities or lessons you can do with your students. After a couple minutes with that, we will have each one of you go up and do a demonstration pretending the class is your own classroom with actual little students.
After this is all done and everything that you just learned, we will hand out an assessment test that has 2 essay questions. You will need to write the essay questions with detail from everything from you learned in the prior knowledge of how to teach kids how to count.
We have you working rigorously. We have you constantly brainstorming your own ideas based off of what we provide you. So we give you a starting point, and then we let you take it into your own path.
We provide relevance in our lesson plan because we have you come up with your own activity. You can use different examples that we didn't do in class.
In your own classroom, communication is such an important part, so that's why we have you sitting and working in groups so often to see how your students should feel and how they learn best.
Collaboration is key when it comes to working in groups, so we'll have you brainstorming and working in groups throughout the whole lesson.
Of course, there is critical thinking involved, especially when we have you think of other materials and manipulatives you can use into the Play-Doh. So in our example, we used marbles, but we have you think of what else you can use that would be appropriate for your students in your classroom.
Then we have creation, so you can let your students play with the Play-Doh and see how they react with the numbers.
We gave you just one of the many developmental paths to help students achieve this goal. You develop higher thinking throughout this lesson by constantly brainstorming new ways to take what we have given you and make it your own.
If you're interested in our lesson plan, it is available on our website. We are currently having a 15% promotion for teachers. Don't miss out on this incredible offer.
Thank you.